Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing some of the costly mistakes to avoid when moving to Tucson. Now, anytime you're moving to a new place, or especially researching a new place, it's so important to know some of the things that maybe probably aren't talked about or mentioned as much. So today, as your local resource, I'm really going to deep dive into a few things that might pop up if you're not familiar with the Southern Arizona region. What might come up as expenses that maybe where you're living now isn't something that's a big issue. Now, I'm not saying they're huge issues, but just unexpected finances that might pop up that could save you money in the long run when you're looking to move here. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Up first, let's talk about the heat. Now, some people might underestimate how hot it actually does get here. We're in Southern Arizona. We are in the Sonoran Desert. So during those summer months, it's hot. It gets well into the hundreds or higher. So, the hottest you could probably expect here is 110, 112 degrees, but that's hot. So one thing is energy bills. Is during those long summer months, and I want to say probably end of May, and it's still pretty toasty. You're still probably using your AC well into, early mid-October, depending on the season. Those energy bills do definitely go up. And that's, something to take into consideration. So if you're moving here from, more of the north or east where it is cooler, and yes, of course, you probably do still use either swamp cooling or AC. Over here, when you're in those 100-degree weather points, it's hot. Therefore, your systems are going to be working overtime, and those energy bills are going to get pretty high during those months. Now, the caveat to that is during our winter months and more of our fall, springtime, you're not having to use your AC. Yes, you do use your heater, but those energy bills will drop significantly. It's really more so of those summer months where you are really working through that AC system. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're not used to the heat, if you're not used to those high energy bills during those months, something that maybe to take in consideration when moving here is it's hot. We're in the Sonoran Desert. That's something to be prepared for. Let's talk about the next one. Before jumping into the next topic, I did also want to mention if you're looking to relocate or move to Tucson, I am a licensed realtor. I'd love to help you answer any questions or, assist you throughout the process. So if you'd like to set up a one-on-one call with me, my number is going to pop up on the screen right here. Make sure you screenshot that so you can save it, reach out to me, or if you want to get the link down below, you can set up a time. I'm available through call, text, email, anything. I'd love to help you, but let's talk about the next topic. Really more so is number 2 is researching neighborhoods. Now, this might sound silly, and of course, duh, if you're gonna move here or anywhere, you wanna really research what area and where you're gonna feel the most happy and comfortable. But one thing I do really kind of see people who are moving here or visiting for long periods of time is that they either get into a rental or they buy, and they really don't understand the area they're moving into. Not that it's a bad area, but if you're not really extending your search or having someone who is very familiar with the whole entire city give you a really inside out look of what to expect, what is your key points of what is gonna make you happy living there in the long run, it could cost you because you could end up moving, you could end up selling within a few years, losing money on that. Moving isn't cheap. So you want to make sure that you are researching, you're working with somebody, an agent that is very, very well experienced and or local to the area. Me, myself, being born and raised in Tucson, I know it inside out. So if you really give me that laundry list of what you're looking for, top priorities of what it is for where you'd love to live, I would be able to nail it down in a few seconds. And it's also good because there might be multiple options. So moving, researching that area and neighborhood, because the last thing you want to do is commit and live somewhere where you ultimately are not happy and it doesn't fit what your lifestyle and family lifestyle, if so, needs are. So researching your neighborhood, huge cost to avoid if you don't do it. Number 3, we have avoiding home maintenance. Now, this isn't necessarily specific for Tucson, but it's just kind of more so as a homeowner is making sure that you are getting and maintaining your house. So that can be things such as getting, roof inspections every few years or so. And the good thing with that is majority of roofing companies do it for free. So just something to maintain, because the last thing you want to do is wait 15 to 20 years and have to do a full roof replacement, which can cost you tens of thousands of dollars in the long run. Another thing is, again, touching on your HVAC unit, making sure you get that maintenance, I would say biannually, so twice a year. And really, because again, in those summer months, it's going to be working overtime. It's going to be, in high action. So something to do is that I always advise my clients is in the winter time, making sure that you're getting it maintenance, or more so towards the end of winter, having it maintenance for those summer months. So you make sure that it is in good condition, ready to run for the summer. And then also more so probably around October. So I'd say an April, October situation. October, so that your HVAC unit is all set for the winter months because of the furnace, and you will be using the heater. Again, if you don't maintain those things in the long run, in a few years, if it dies down or anything like that, you could have saved yourself money by taking care of it throughout all of that time, so that you can really make sure that you're expanding the lifespan of it. Another thing with your maintenance is changing out your air filters. We're in the desert again, so it gets dusty here. You want to make sure that you're changing those out, because again, you want that clean air coming through. Also to help avoid allergies or anything within your house, and making sure, if you have those issues, that changing out those filters really does keep the airflow a little bit cleaner. And it also helps maintain the lifespan of your system, because if you are not changing them and it's months, or I've even heard people years go without changing their filter, that can really affect the AC unit, your furnace, your whole entire HVAC system, which could eventually make the lifespan a lot shorter. So maintaining anything that you might see in the house. And again, that's kind of just like a rule of thumb as a homeowner, is the more you maintain, it's the pride of ownership. But if later down the road, let's say you move and then 3 years later, you're gonna try and sell your house and all of these things haven't been taken care of, that's gonna cost you money when you do go to sell it, because a lot of those buyers are going to be asking for, those things to be fixed. And that can then affect what you sell for, because you're wanting top dollar and you have all of these things that need to be repaired. You're going to net a lot less in that sale. So just a general tip, besides moving to Tucson, just as a homeowner, making sure you're maintaining and maintaining your house. Now, since we're talking about home maintenance, we're gonna switch over to car maintenance. Again, might seem like a silly thing, but if you're moving from somewhere where they have a lot of public transportation and you're not really having to utilize your car a lot, that's great. Here, I think you 1000% need a car. You're going to be using it daily. Our public transportation really is pretty limited. The bus system is really more so for city limits, and it does go a good amount of hours and it is free, but majority of people that I know, actually everyone I know, has a car. They use their car for daily errands, shopping, commute, getting to work. It's really not a super walkable city, depending on where you're living. Of course, maybe if you're downtown and you work downtown, you live downtown, your life is downtown, you could probably get away with not using your car that much, but really to get necessities and everything, you will be using a car. So keeping that in mind is making sure that you're regularly maintaining your maintenance on your car. Oil changes, gas costs and everything, that's all gonna accumulate. And again, it's hot here, so you're using your AC pretty regularly throughout the year just to get airflow. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is that those costs and those little hidden things will pop up. And again, it's dusty here. And then also rodents, not necessarily, but more pack rats. If you park your car outside and you're in a more deserty area, there is a higher chance that, if it's not utilized or you don't have lights under your car, there is that potential of, pack rats. So something to keep in mind. It's never happened to me before, but I definitely see it happen quite often. So little things that might pop up that you don't even think of. So car maintenance. All right, let's talk about the next one. Last up, we have HOA fees and regulations. Now, This might not be a complete big change from where you're moving from, but some people might not be familiar with HOAs and just when they're choosing the neighborhood of where to live, what those fees could incur. Now, it's probably 50-50 here in Tucson. There are quite a bit of master plan communities, so a lot of those houses that, are cookie cutter or even more of country clubs or stuff like that, we are a big golf community, you're most likely going to be having an HOA fee. Now, some of them are super minimal. It could be anywhere from $15 a month to, $70 a quarter. And then there are some that are in the high 200s. And now, majority of the ones that are in the high 200s, it can either be a condo or townhouse. And those are really, you're gonna find more expensive ones there, but that's including trash and water. So kind of evens out in a sense and, ground maintenance. Other ones would be places like golf course communities or country club communities. And those are, guard gated. There's pools, there's golf courses, all of those amenities that are included, country clubs. So, it really depends on if you're looking for that, then it evens out, it's something you've budgeted for. But if you're looking to move here and you're not familiar with HOA fees, those are something that can increase your monthly expenses. So again, that kind of falls into one of the other topics where it was really researching your neighborhood. If you fall in love with the neighborhood and the house and you budget for that monthly mortgage payment, but you don't take into account maybe it has a $200 HOA fee, that can make a difference for you. So it's something to really research and get to know, and also ask me, what does this look like? Are there any HOA fees? Some people are totally okay with HOA fees and HOAs in general. Some people hate them. They don't want to be told, keep your front yard clean, you can't paint your house this color, or you can't have that many cars in front. Me, myself, I actually like it. It really keeps the neighborhoods clean, but it really depends. So one thing to keep in mind and to research is when you're looking to move here are HOA fees. Does the neighborhood have an HOA? Is that fee really going to throw your budget out of the water? Well, that wraps up the video. I hope this was somewhat helpful for you, and I know some might not be a big deal at all, but it's just something to keep in mind. When you are moving to a new place, you're not really sure how the day-to-day goes and what the different environmental things could be that could cost you money, that being again here the heat. So it's just something to really keep in mind and to budget when you are looking to relocate anywhere new. Again, I am a licensed realtor, so if you have any questions, I'd love to set up a one-on-one call with you. If you're thinking of relocating to Tucson, give me a text, call, or email, or we can set up a private one-on-one Zoom call so I can really get an idea of what your budget is and really help you decide and decipher where you would love to be in Tucson. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.